We're back at Full Sail and back in full swing as Killian Dane goes one-on-one with Matt Riddle in our main event.
It's Brotons versus Car Bombs, and this is NXT.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to What's NXT for August 21st, 2019. I'm your host, the Rated R Reviewer, back again, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And this morning we had a pretty good show. I mean, not the best, and when you line up the matches on paper, it sounds sort of intriguing,
Yep.
but not really. Wow.
It's a great first night back at Full Sail after the takeover, is what it is. We have 4 great matches as openers for pretty much a 3-hour card at Full Sail. So
Yeah, I mean, they took a card that was okay on paper, and they turned it into something very entertaining. I don't actually have a lot of notes for this show, but that's mostly because I was just sitting back and enjoying it. We start off the show, not a match. We've got the Undisputed Era, and of course, led by Adam Cole, still NXT champion. He's the only one of Undisputed Era, because we've got Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish all come out without their respective titles that they were going for at Toronto's TakeOver. But we knew this. They come out, first on the mic is Roderick Strong.
yeah.
And he basically makes the argument that... Or no, first on the mic was Adam Cole.
Adam Cole pretty much
Sorry.
saying he fulfilled his duties and beat Gargano like he said he's going to, and he is not even arguably anymore. He is the greatest NXT champion.
He stacks himself up against former champions like Gargano, who I wouldn't necessarily call a great NXT champion.
No.
He held that title for less than a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But Ciampa, who definitely was one of the great champions,
Yeah.
he puts himself up there against names like Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And he still says, if there was a Mount Rushmore of NXT champions, none of them would be on it. It would just be his face 4 times. And I thought that was pretty fun. But now we get Roderick Strong on the mic, and he basically says he didn't get pinned.
Yeah.
And I would make the argument further. He didn't make this argument, but I did a few weeks ago. He not only didn't get pinned, but he was essentially the finisher that won the match.
Yeah.
Because Velveteen Dream comes in after he hits the, what do you call it?
The end of Heartache.
The end of Heartache, throws Roderick Strong out, and then takes the pinfall. I can't remember if he hit a finisher.
No, he hit the Purple Rainmaker like on Pete Dunne, I think it was, and
Still though.
yeah. Either way, he picked the scraps on on Roderick Strong's work.
He could have taken the pinfall there.
It was exactly how I called the match was going to end.
Yes. We know you are perfect for TakeOver.
Take over Toronto too. That was lightning in a bottle. It'll never ever happen again. Don't you worry, folks. I will become a perpetual loser again.
So, he basically wants another match with Velveteen Dream. He wants it one-on-one this time. And then we get the mic to Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Well, they all have mics, actually. But anyway, Kyle O'Reilly says, the news is in the evidence, and the evidence is on the screen.
Yeah.
The news here is, well, it wasn't news to us, and it wasn't news to them.
Because we saw it live.
Yeah. Kyle O'Reilly was not the legal man when he got pinned. It was actually Bobby Fish. So they've got a still photo of Bobby Fish making the tag. They don't show anything else.
Yeah.
Because, they want to still make some pay-per-view buys. But anyway, they show the tag, and they make the case that they didn't actually lose. to the Street Profits. But you didn't win either, and the Street Profits walked in as the champs. So if you don't beat them, you don't walk out as the champs. So they can make the argument that they didn't lose, but I think it's weak. It's weak. If they were the champs and lost that way, okay. But at the very least, this is leading into challenges by Roderick Strong to Velveteen Dream and American Dragon to... Or Red Dragon. Yeah. Sorry, I keep fucking that up. Red Dragon to the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins for another championship opportunity.
Yeah.
And they leave it at that, basically. Soon the prophecy will be fulfilled, and they will all be draped in gold, blah, blah,
blah. Blah, blah, blah.
And they go to walk to the back, and lo and behold, the music stops, and something comes on I don't recognize. Should have. I've heard it 3 times in a row, once live.
Yeah.
Jordan Miles comes out, and he is holding his contract, his guaranteed match for an NXT championship. And he doesn't say a word, doesn't smile, very poker face through this whole thing, up till the end. And Adam Cole gets a mic, and he basically tries to talk him out of challenging him for his title.
It's like, don't squander your one chance against me, you know. Go after Velveteen Dream. Go after one of the...
he didn't even suggest Velveteen Dream. He suggested first Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler, that's right.
And then he suggested going to NXT UK or 205 Live because they aren't the same caliber.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the only men's title on NXT UK is Walter's title, and I don't think he'd fare any better against Walter, honestly.
I would have thought he would have like gone for a tag titles and actually either used another guy for the breakout tournament or found somebody on the NXT roster.
No fucking way. We went through this before with Velveteen Dream. Granted, when he cashed in his championship opportunity for the NA title, the North American Championship, he actually won it.
Yeah.
Sure, okay, fine, whatever. But if you've got a guaranteed championship match for any title, you always go for the heavyweight championship.
I'm not disagreeing, but like the way they had it written and everything that last time, I can kind of see it. But Jordan Miles is so positive and so, you know, not really arrogant, but confident in himself. I can actually see him challenging Adam Cole, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah,
He wasted no time whatsoever.
No, it took 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
First time back in Full Sail when it's actually, you know, after the pay-per-view instead of right before it. So he doesn't say anything. Instead, he goes to hand Adam Cole the contract. Sign it. And then right before Cole grabs it, he drops it at his feet.
Yep.
Then we see the smile.
Mm-hmm.
Exit stage right.
They all pick up the contract, all 4 members of Undisputed Era, and just start thumbing through it.
Do you honestly see Jordan Miles winning this match?
God, no. But it's going to be entertaining.
Fucking way. It might be entertaining. I don't know about that.
I think it's going to be entertaining. The clash, the styles clash between these two, where you have Adam Cole doing more mat-based stuff and Jordan Miles running and flailing over everything, it's going to be pretty awesome.
I really think that Jordan Miles was only entertaining to me in that last match because we were there live, but whatever. Anyway, after this we get an interview well, it wasn't backstage, it was actually at the Performance Center. So technically backstage.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was from earlier though. Bronson Reed, he is the Australian, and you can tell by his accent. He's got a beautiful Australian accent. However, he doesn't really say much. He's just going to make an impact.
Talks about his Australian strong style.
Yeah. He gets interrupted by fellow Australian who says they should be cohorts, you know, brothers, friends, but they are not. We've got Shane Thorne, who is on a path to take out all of the breakout tournament superstars to prove a point. That they had the opportunity to win 3 matches in a row and you get an NXT championship match. And Thorne, well, he's had shots at the tag titles, but he no longer has a partner. And he thinks he deserves, you know, some kind of push. So he challenges Bronson Reed, who accepts, of course. Or does Bronson Reed challenge him? I don't remember. Either way, this match is on.
Match is going to happen tonight.
Tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So after this, we get our first match of the night. We've got Mansoor come out, and they made sure to remind us that he won the 50-man over-the-top rope battle royal, the greatest royal battle royal, whatever, the thing in Saudi Arabia several months ago. He won that. And I'm like, well, surely he's going to win this match, because why would you even bring that up and remind us if you're just going to make him lose?
And
then comes Damian Priest, yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he's going to lose.
Yeah.
Because Damian Priest is on a hot streak. He even beat Keith Lee. Like, if you're going to beat Keith Lee in your last match, you're certainly the fuck not going to lose to Mansoor now. However, this was a really good match.
Oh, yes. We had a lot of heavy strikes out of Damian Priest. Good God.
Oh my God. Okay, so this was not a squash match at all.
Not by any means.
Mansoor did look really good through a lot of this match.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to strikes, so he hits Damian Priest with his forearm. Like, he jumps over the ropes, looks like he's going to skin the cat, but turns around. Damian Priest comes over and he slides under the bottom rope like Miz has been doing lately. But instead of going for that schoolboy or whatever fruit roll-up, he gets up and he lands a forearm on Damian Priest, who almost shrugs it off.
Yeah.
Then he turns around halfway and wails a forearm into Mansoor and lays him out. This might have been the strongest looking forearm I've seen in years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I recommend watching this match just because there's a couple of spots in here where Damian Priest hits a power move and it's just like, holy fuck. That
yeah,
like
it's just pure punishment.
Martinez. So, Damian Priest wins this match with a throwing Razor's Edge. They called it a, what do they call it? A Splash Mountain?
Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain is usually reserved to be a Razor's Edge or sit-out Razor's Edge.
Right.
Pretty much a cross power bomb turned into a sit-out power bomb.
So he hits that, picks him up, and hits his The Reckoning, which is it's an inverted swinging neck breaker that ends in a cutter.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. The rest of this match, though, oh my God. Like, I didn't take any notes. I was just enjoying it. My advice is watch the match. And since it's the first match of the show, my second piece of advice is just continue on and watch the rest of this show.
Yes.
Any last thoughts about this?
No, it was actually quite brilliant from front to back and a great opener to get the crowd warmed up.
Yeah, absolutely. Not too long, not too short, just the right length.
And something else to take note of here, Damian Priest puts back on his cool vest at the end of the match.
Yeah, his vest looks like he found a gorilla with a red chest and just skinned it.
Yep, just went to a zoo, killed a gorilla.
As Jerry pointed out while we watched the show, they must really be invested in him.
Ha
Yeah. So after this, we go right into our next match. I'm sure there was a commercial or something, but we've got Mia Yim come out, and I'm like, again, still with Mia Yim, she lost. Let's move on to anyway. So she comes out, and we figure it's going to be somebody from, I don't know what they call themselves, but Aaliyah or Vanessa Bourne. She beat Aaliyah a few weeks ago, so now we get Vanessa Bourne, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Short of Rhea Ripley, Vanessa Bourne might be the hottest chick in NXT. Like, god damn. So that's a shout out to Aaron with an E, Aaron Roca. Yeah, she agrees. Vanessa Bourne is smoking hot. So Vanessa Bourne comes out with Aaliyah, and I'm thinking, okay, so she beat Aaliyah pretty easily. I think maybe this time around, Aaliyah gets a little bit of help in, and Vanessa Bourne somehow pulls off the victory. Nope. Mia Yim's still getting pushed. Despite the fact that she lost her title match at TakeOver 2, she's still getting pushed. So the notes here of the match, like, Yim wins with a protect your neck. This wasn't the greatest of matches or anything, but it was short enough that it managed to be entertaining from front to back.
Yeah.
Not a lot of rest holds or slow spots, and it just was. It was a good match.
And she sold the protect your neck extremely well.
Oh my god. Fucking Vanessa Bourne leaping out of that protect your neck like The Rock does out of a Stone Cold Stunner just about. And the view, I'm just saying. The story really isn't in the match. The story is after match. And you ask, well, what could possibly happen? Well, there's two of them. They could be beat. No, this is not a 2-on-1 after match beatdown. What we end up with is Shayna Baszler coming out. And this disappoints me even more. Because again, shall we move on from this? Yes. Apparently not. She comes to the ring, and instead of going for an attack or dissing her and putting her down for losing the match at Toronto Takeover 2, or Takeover Toronto 2, whatever. She decides to compliment her and say that she has this fire that only comes from digging yourself out of holes that, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, she compliments her on bringing it. Like nobody has ever brought it to Shayna Baszler, and I fucking beg to differ, but whatever. This was just an attempt.
Bianca Belair put up a bunch heavier
Jesus. Easily. So this is just Shayna Baszler's attempt to, in this case, recruit Mia Yim to her little group.
Yeah.
Her new 4 horsewomen of MMA. Except, well, Mia Yim's MMA too, isn't she?
No, she's just a former
she's a striker. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
she offers a spot under her dragon's wing.
Yeah, she says it's warm under her dragon. Yeah.
Because everybody has a wing now.
Everybody's got a wing. She's got a wing. Noam Dar's got a wing. Everybody's got a wing.
It's a wing thing.
It's a wing thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Mia Yim pretends to think about it for a moment, but she's got Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir behind her. I think Duke has got a sling in her arm, but still,
her arm in a sling too.
She doesn't give in. Mia Yim turns around and goes straight after the one in the arm sling. Easiest one to get rid of off the bat. But then I think Jessamine Duke comes in and attacks her. And of course Shayna Baszler comes in and attacks her. And everybody's beating on Mia Yim. And I'm like, fuck, this feud is going to keep going, isn't it?
Yep. Referees come out, break them up. But the damage has seemingly already been done.
Yeah. So that was that. I don't know. I'm always okay when Shayna Baszler ends up on top. It's just I didn't even like the first match, and now it looks like we're going to get a second match.
A third even.
Oh, would this be the third match
between
them?
Because the first one we ever had was one of the first cold opens we ever did. It's like it was Mia Yim.
It wasn't for the title though, so
yeah,
sort of ish.
But it's still Mia Yim versus Shayna Baszler. It doesn't matter if there's gold involved or anything. Baszler is going to win.
Now up next, we have my favorite part of this entire show, and it is not a match, folks. It's a promo video pack / recap / I mean, okay. So
you guys have no idea the insurmountable joy that filled this room once these images hit the screen.
So if you've been watching our show, let's say between 6 and 4 months ago, in that time frame, there was something that we like to talk about a lot because every week we'd go and we wouldn't get it. Every week we'd go and we wouldn't get it. And then we'd get it promised to us and then we wouldn't get it. And what we're talking about is Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic.
Part 2.
Part 2. 6 months ago we got the first match and it was awesome until it ended in a double count out.
Yeah.
This match was supposed to happen like 4 months ago. And then I think first Keith Lee got injured and then Dominik Dijakovic got injured. Nobody can stay healthy. However, they are both healthy now. And next week we are going to get this match. Fucking finally. And here's the thing. He wasn't happy at first. He's like, until I actually see it, until they both get in the ring, no matter what happens from that point, until they both get in the ring, I'm not going to believe it. And I'm like, dude, this is pre-taped, and the show we're watching now is hour 1. This match happens. This match is going to happen next week.
And this makes me happy.
So they go from the announcement into this long-ass video promo / video package. It's got Keith Lee talking about Dominik Dijakovic. It's got Dominik Dijakovic talking about Keith Lee. And they have plenty to talk about because these guys have a long history.
Matches in progress evolve all around the world.
They have got footage that let's just say 10 years ago, WWE would never be able to run.
Yeah.
Because they just didn't have that kind of relationship with independent wrestling companies.
You see, at one point, Dominic Dijakovic nailed Canadian Destroyer onto Keith Lee, and I was just held in awe.
And a good 3 or 4 moonsaults from Keith Lee onto Dominic Dijakovic. Or whatever his name was back then.
So basically, what they're showing in this video package is everything me and him saw in his first match was just pretty much the base of the cake.
Yeah, that was that first 4 or 5 minutes that gets you warmed up for a match.
Yeah.
We ain't even seen the match yet, so I am so looking forward to this match next week. It's not the only match I'm looking forward to next week.
Oh my god.
We'll get to that in a moment, but this was the brightest spot of the night for me. And that's saying something because our main event ends up being something a little bit special. However, after this promo, video package, whatever, we get our third match of the night. Bronson Reed versus Shane Thorne. And I really wasn't expecting too much out of this.
Yeah.
But it actually surpassed my expectations.
It was a lot better than the Shane Thorne, Joaquin Wilde match that we got. Like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. It was a lot better than that one. And I think it's also for a fact they're both Australian. They've no doubt faced each other over in
probably.
Australia. And, or at least on the road before the TV tapings and whatnot. And they worked well together. They had differing styles and everything. Speaking of style, Shane Thorne, seriously, he looks kind of, metrosexual.
Yeah, he looks a little faggy. Just from the outfit, he's got this vest jacket that's lined with like thick fur, and it's just, and then he gets up on the top rope in the corner and sets and crosses his leg.
Kind of Indian style, and holds his...
No. I thought it was Indian style at first. No, one of the legs is down, the other leg is up, crossed over top of that leg, and it just...
It doesn't help that it looks like he's holding his name, because he's growing like this. And it looks like his name is spitting on his
I'm just
name.
saying, I'm not opposed to that character. Velveteen Dream does that androgynous character very well.
Yeah.
But if that's your character, go fully with the character.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come out looking like you're a little androgynous and posing like you're a little androgynous, but nothing else be such. One way or the other. Anyway, I just feel like it's a little androgynous. It's a little faggy. And for those of you that might criticize me, my dad was gay. Love the gay community. None of this is said with any kind of malice or nothing. Just, he looks a little gay. So, this match, much like the previous women's match, was just a really warm match. It's like between the opener and the main event, this just kept you warm. Like, it was entertaining enough for what it was. Fairly short.
Yeah.
But it was alright. I have one actual note during the match up till the end is Shane Thorne hits this awesome cannonball into the corner. And he called it a cannonball swanton. And I tend to agree. He does the flip like 4 or 5 feet before the corner, way up in the air. And it looks really awesome.
But he also spreads out his arms a lot more, too. That's why I kind of went with the swanton.
And then he wins the match by knocking Reed off the top rope. And then he hits him with this wicked shining wizard.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3. I'm fine with this. I like Shane Thorne going through the gamut of these breakout tournament guys. He's kind of filling the void of Cassius Ohno now that he's over on NXT UK.
I was actually going to make the claim that what they should have done is brought Joseph Connors over to do this.
No, because he's got his thing in NXT UK.
What is that, losing?
They need to be using Shane Thorne. They're going to be going to a 2-hour broadcast every week. Now, granted, they're going to have real commercials, so it's going to be more like hour and 20 minutes. But still, they're going to have to be using a lot more of their superstars now. So I like them building up Shane Thorne this way. I'm cool with it. Now, speaking of androgynous Velveteen Dream, he comes out next, but not to the ring. I like the way he comes out now. He's just laid out on a couch on wheels. Got some casters under the wheels. And he's got 2 hot chicks in yoga pants wheeling him out. Cool. So he holds up his t-shirt and he's like, Velveteen Dream t-shirt, $30. And I'm like, fucking what? $30?
Yeah.
Jesus. No DQ t-shirts are only $20. You know, shipping, but still. Maybe $25, I think, with express shipping. So he says the t-shirt's $30. He say
Sunglasses.
Velveteen Dream shades, $10. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot more reasonable. And then he said, and then the long part that kind of ruined the joke. Velveteen Dream retaining his title against 2 guys at NXT TakeOver 2, blah, 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 by pinning Pete Dunne of NXT UK. Just so much before he says the priceless. And if you're a 90s kid, you know the Visa commercial or
American
MasterCard.
Express.
American Express?
American Express, you don't leave home without it.
It's everywhere you want to be. So this is just him gloating about his victory against 2 guys. He says, 1 guy, 2 guys, the whole locker room, doesn't matter.
You'll always end up on top.
Yeah. However, he says Roderick Strong's now on top with the spotlight, but even despite him being on top with the spotlight, he says that he's going to have to show him something, an experience that he's never seen before he'll give him a shot at the title. And now I'm confused. But whatever, he's basically accepting the challenge with stipulations. Whatever it means to show him an experience he's never seen before. Whatever that means.
I think he's going to play a factor in the Lee and Dijakovic match. I think the match will end, but I think he'll go out on some sort of post-match attack.
Who, Roderick Strong?
Yeah. And nail whoever.
Doesn't make sense to me, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Because those are both 2 relatively big dudes.
Yeah, but you're intertwining storylines for no reason. I'd rather see him go after, let's say, Damian Priest in after a squash match.
Right,
then you're only, you know.
I think Priest are going for to be a heel though, and that would just turn him automatically face.
But either way, if he attacks somebody, you're kind of dragging somebody into the picture, and then you could end up with another fucking triple threat match. I'm not in favor of that. I'm hoping that.
I was about to say that does sound like a stupid move on Roderick's part.
So anyway, after this, we get a couple of announcements. We don't get an announcement for the North American Championship match with Dream and Strong, but we do get an announcement about Adam Cole versus Jordan Miles. That is going to happen in 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
However, next week, we are going to get the Tag Team Championship match. Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford against Red Dragon of the Undisputed Era. That's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. And
on top of Lee versus Dijakovic.
I don't know which of those 2 matches is going to main event. I guess it's got to be.
It's going to be the tag title.
Yeah, it's a title match. But really, it ought to be Keith Lee and Dijakovic. Fuck! Which one? I say open the show with the tag title match.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, but we probably won't get that. We'll get. I think Lee versus Dijakovic will open it, and then I think we'll get another match between there to cool everything down. And then I think we'll get Street Profits versus Red Dragon.
Man, I really hope it's the other way around. But either way.
I think we're going to get 3 matches on that card, because if they're going to squeeze everything they can out of Lee and Dijakovic and Red Dragon versus Street Profits, you can only probably put 3 matches on that card.
Yeah, I could squeeze 4 in, but whatever. We are on to the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Killian Dane versus Matt Riddle. This is a blood feud. This is a grudge match. And you can tell by the way they come to the ring. Because Killian Dane, he's got his new music, he's got his new look, his entrance, whatever. He's got to show it off.
Badass.
Yeah, his look is awesome. His music's alright. The entrance video is super cool.
And the camera work. The camera work is sick.
Yeah, so he comes to the ring, and then Riddle's music comes on, but he doesn't come to the ring. He sneaks through the crowd, runs up into the ring, and attacks Killian Dane from behind. And this match is now starting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a match. I mean, like, the first half of it was just them basically beating each other up.
Yep.
Obviously, Matt Riddle is hitting a few more, let's say, wrestling moves. He hits a German suplex to Killian Dane, where Dane is deadweighting it. and you're like, no way. No fucking, no. He nails it.
Yeah.
Bridges and everything. Jesus. But my notes really don't start until about halfway through the match up to the end.
Because you're kind of like, this match is kind of underwhelming compared to where I thought it was going to be at.
I was like, this isn't the match I was expecting out of these two, and then suddenly we had that deadlift German suplex, and I was like, wow!
It's like,
that's how I ended that sentence.
It's like, oh, it's on.
yeah, this is the point where it all goes uphill. But before I break down the end of the match, what did you think about the main event, Jerry?
I thought it was finally what we deserved out of the two of them, because it was brutal enough, and there wasn't really...
This is what we deserved out of Killian Dane. I think we've seen better matches out of Matt Riddle.
Oh, definitely. But this is also something that Matt Riddle really hasn't faced off against either. He's been against smaller opponents. He's defeated your submission specialist. He's defeated your jiu-jitsu guy. He's defeated your lightweights. He's defeated Cassius Ohno, whatever category you put him in. But he hasn't faced a guy that's pretty much as maniacal and unpredictable and just as fucking strong as Killian Dane. So, Killian Dane really didn't have, pretty much had everything to lose in this match. It was his first match back. He needed the win. And sure enough, he got it. So.
Yeah, so my first note after the beginning where Riddle comes in through the crowd is Matt Riddle with a bro to sleep. I love how he just takes random moves and changes a word that ends in O to bro.
Yeah.
And then just does the move. Like the Broton. It doesn't even end in O, but whatever. Like, it's not even a cool move.
No.
Everybody does a senton splash anymore. Anyway, so he does the bro to sleep, pulls him up into a power bomb, and then does that roll through from the power bomb into that lifting knee strike. Gets a near fall. I didn't expect him to get a pinfall off of that. I don't think he ever has. Normally he goes from that into the bro mission.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times in this match that he went for a submission, but it mostly looked like a sleeper. Like, it never looked like he had a good opportunity to lock in a bro mission. But he goes up top and goes for a corkscrew moonsault, but Dane counters it. He gets his knees up right into the lower back that's got that trainer's tape from probably the spot in NXT TakeOver 2, Toronto 2, where they went through tables. So after that, let's see, Riddle dodges Killian Dane, who's running into the steps. Like, he just dodges out of the way. So Killian Dane goes like shoulder first into the ring steps. And then Matt Riddle is pissed off at this point. He takes the top part of the steps and throws him off. And he's going to try doing a power bomb onto Killian Dane onto these steps. But it doesn't go his way. Killian Dane goes to do a back body drop onto the steps. But I guess because of the sweat and probably oil, or maybe they meant to do this. I don't know.
They meant to do it.
Instead of a back body drop where Riddle flips and lands on his back, he slides off and goes face first into the steps, where like his neck's at the edge, and I swear it looked like he broke his neck.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But that's the end.
It needed to look brutal, and it looked nasty, and it looked wonderful at the same time.
That was the end for Matt Riddle. Because coming off of that, he rolls off of there, or no, he rolls onto the steps, and then Killian Dane hits his senton splash, and then rolls him onto the mat on the outside. He gets up on the apron and does a Vader bomb from the apron onto the mat on the outside onto Matt Riddle. Then rolls him in the ring into the corner, like laid out diagonal towards the corner, and does 3 Vader bombs off the middle rope. And by the second one, I'm yelling at the ref to call the
Stop the match.
Stop the match. Like, you've done this before. You did this in a Matt Riddle match.
I was expecting you to run to another room or grab, like, white paper towels or something and throw them at your screen.
I mean, seriously, like, that should have been the end of the match. It should have been called by the ref. Killian Dane goes for the pinfall after the 3rd Vader bomb and gets the pinfall, but I think he should have just kept going for Vader bombs until the ref broke up the match. But it wouldn't have made sense with the aftermatch, because even though Dane won and he leaves, Matt Riddle gets up, spitting out blood, and chases that sumbitch up the ramp and jumps on his back on the stage right before the camera cuts.
Yeah.
So this isn't over, folks, and that was a hell of a match to begin with.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see match number 2, if it comes to that. I don't know where it goes from here. Maybe you bring back the Lion's Den. That's what I would do. Bring back the Lion's Den and put those 2 motherfuckers in it.
Well, that'd be an interesting match. Like that.
You think?
Well, he's got that training facility he goes to. That'd be really cool. Just set it up in there.
Nah, set it up at Full Sail.
Support, no DQ.
Well, that brings us to the end of the main event, and here on What's NXT, we like to rate the main event using the General's 5-star rating system. And Jerry, you always get to go first. Where do you rate this main event out of 5 stars?
I'm gonna go ahead and give it 4 1/4. Because naturally we got the great show, so it bumps it up a quarter. But this is going to be the first encounter between Matt Riddle and Killian Dane. This is not over. We have not reached the capabilities of what these two are going to do to each other. This is like going into Sam's Club on the weekend or something and getting one of those little toothpicks with chicken Goron blue or something on it. You bite into it, you're like, I can't wait to get a full one. And that's what we're going to get this next time. I think we're going to get maybe a match with a stipulation, or
maybe that's when we finally get them at TakeOver.
Yeah, maybe we'll get them at TakeOver. Maybe we'll get a street fight out of them
for a main event, something like that.
Yeah, so maybe I hope they don't do a steel cage match, but I hope they do something in that kind of vein that you're talking about, kind of like a mixed martial arts kind of thing, possibly. I could be down for that at least, but yeah, that'd be just really cool and such a devastating match, and I would call it devastating because they just tore the place up and tore each other up, and it was just brutal. And the fact that Killian Dane came out on top, gets his first win back at the expense of Matt Riddle, this is going to go on for a while. I like it, and it was a great start back at Full Sail, so I was thoroughly pleased.
I'm going to agree with you. This was a great match, and for me, a great match starts at the 4-star tier. However, I wouldn't put it any higher than that. Then you're going into TakeOver quality matches, and this just really wasn't. This is a main event match.
Yeah.
Because of the way it ended, with the blood and the fight, chasing up the ramp, shit like that. This is a main event match, but it's not main event TakeOver.
Yeah.
Worthy. So I'm gonna leave it at 4 stars. I'm not gonna give it an extra quarter star because I don't think this was a great show.
So you pretty much give it. Well, I would have said 3 3/4 an extra quarter because this, compared to other shows we've gotten post takeovers,
you're blurring between the opening match and the main event. Those 2 middle matches were just warm fillers. They filled space. They were entertaining, but they weren't great. The opening match was pretty great.
You made it sound like the world's worst Hot Pocket.
You know what? I'm giving it fucking 4 stars, man. What do you want? What do you want? That is a great rating.
I was about to say, for an individual match, that is a pretty awesome rating. So yeah.
Yeah, easily 4 stars. And like you said, I can't wait for the next match. Again, I'm hoping. I don't know why it came to me, but I'm hoping for a Lion's Den match. I would love if they finally brought back Ken Shamrock, who never makes it to any of the reunion shows or any of that shit. Finally bring him back, bring him to NXT, let him pass the torch or whatever of the Lion's Den match to Matt Riddle, and then put these 2 motherfuckers in there.
What do you call it? The Bro Den?
There you go, the Bro Den.
The Den of Bros.
So that brings us to the end of this episode of What's NXT. Thank you for joining us. Please join us tomorrow for the NXT party where we should be expecting Chris Mace and Owen Finch. Again, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Love those guys. So join us for that, please. And if you'd like to be up on the big screen and help us review a future episode of NXT UK, come have a spot of NXT with us. Mm-hmm. You can find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne. OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter
at NoDQ General, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR.
Exclamation point!
Join us there for memes, discussions, whatever.
Yep.
Photos, lots of photos.
Good times to be had by all.
Good grief.
So that's where you find us on Facebook. Don't try to add us. We will not add you. Facebook is spoiler free.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find me on Instagram for some reason at osborne.stefan. I get a new follower like every week, and I'm like, I don't post anything. I don't know why. But yeah, love it. Whatever. So if you like our video, click the like button. That's underneath me over here. And if you like all of our videos, please do us a favor. Do yourself a favor. Click the subscribe button. That's over there underneath that pin Jerry dropped. And subscribe to us on NoDQ.com and click that little bell icon down there, because when we hit 100 subscribers on our channel, we are going to start doing this show, What's NXT, live on NoDQ.com's YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd like to subscribe to our channel and help us get there, we are at 98. We are this close. You can find us at Aftermatch Wrestling. That's all one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. And if you do subscribe, do us a favor, click that share button down there and share us on Twitter, share us on Facebook, share us on Instagram. If you have friends that like watching wrestling, maybe they will like watching us bullshit about wrestling.
Or just us yammer.
Yeah. And help get us to 100. And once we hit 1,000, we're going to start doing all our shows live, because fuck it. Finally can. YouTube fucked us, man.
Yeah, they kind of did.
We went live for a show and it didn't really work out. And we were at like maybe 30 subscribers.
Yeah.
Now we need 1,000. That's some bullshit.
A little bit.
So, thank you for joining us for the General Jerry Slaughter. I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stefan Osborne, and we will see you in NXT time.